Hello, hi all, and welcome back to another edition of Crisis Talk, where we debate, discuss, and dissect the issues affecting the Black community. My name is Palumi.
And I'm William.
And I'm Chey, and today we have a guest. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Jordan. My name's Jordan Dodzer, but most people just call me Dodzer. And yeah.
So today we are going to be dissecting and discussing if you can be pro-Black and date interracially. William, thought?
Well, I'm a bit wishy-washy on the definition of pro-Black apparently, because I've recently been educated that it means something different to what I thought it meant. So I guess technically you can't be, but I'm going to be arguing the point that you can be. Like, date whoever you want and, don't hate Black people.
So the reason why often there's not a definition of pro-Black is because the definition of pro is exactly what it means. So the definition pro is a prefix indicating favour for some party, system, idea, etc. without identity with the group. So, but in essence of being pro-Black, you are pro-favour for being Black. So then it has all aspects of, there's intricacies in terms of you're for the economic advancement of Black people, you're for the advancement of Black people in general, you're for making sure the culture's maintained. Like, there's so many different aspects of it. And me as well, I personally think I'm not necessarily pro-Black in who I am today, because I think that today the term is often, people basically want to grasp to it so much that they water it down a bit, and I don't think personally it should be watered down, because I want it to be strict, I want it to be bold, because it's something to strive for and do better with, if that makes sense. I want to always do better for my community, therefore I have something to strive to. Whereas people often, I feel like people are trying to dissect the term pro-Black to fit their agenda. Like, oh, I want to date an Asian, oh, I want to date a white person. So now pro-Black is about a feeling rather than militant action. And I'm not about that, I'm about militant action.
That people, in the general sense, when it comes to dating specifically, like, people think that your type is your type. In the context of a relationship, you can like all types of races. I just think that when it comes to being pro-Black and dating interracially, you are taken away from the meaning of pro-Black in its entirety, because the person that you marry does have an impact on you as a person, on you economically, on you politically. Like, it's a thing. Like, once you are married, it's your whole union now, your whole unit, and you stand together, and you stand together strong. And that's not to say that, like, a white person going out with a Black person, that the Black person isn't still adding to their community, because the governor of the mayor of New York is dating a Black woman, and they do great work for the people of New York. It can, and that's a political couple. So it, like, you can date interracially and be interracial and still make strides within the Black community and within all communities that you represent when you date interracially, because interracial dating doesn't just affect and doesn't just mean Black dating a Black person dating a white person. But what I'm saying is the term pro-Black, you dating interracially, is not conducive to that term. That's not what I personally believe. I think that people, that if you want to date interracially, go ahead. Like, be down with this world. Like,
so I think no one here has an issue with anyone dating people outside their race. So I guess the debate more lies now into whether or not that makes you pro-Black, which kind of means what we're dissecting here is the definition of the word pro-Black. Now, based on the brief research I've done, pro-Black, like you said, means, to favour the advancement of Black people. So now, say me, Black guy, I date a white woman. And me and my white wife are both, we live this ultimately pro-Black lifestyle. We shop in Black businesses. We only listen to Black artists. We only watch Black movies. The only TV show we watch is Everybody Hates Chris.
That's a very good show.
No, but yes, so I guess my question is, like, say me and my white wife live that lifestyle. For me, by the definition of pro-Black, we constitute as pro-Black. What do you guys think of that?
So for me, I think that often what happens is people, when they're even thinking about interracial relationships and how we're in, and I'm talking as someone who is a product of an interracial relationship. My grandfather was an Asian man. Like, I'm not mad, I don't care, but I'm just saying that I think people don't have hindsight when they're thinking about relationships. Like, they often think that relationship is just because I love this person. But the fact is that love is political, and we've seen that throughout history. When there's miscegenation laws, hello, people are still fighting, gay people are still fighting for the right to love who they want to love. Love is political. So in this society, the fact is that blackness and black love is often, there's war happening on these aspects. I don't know how they're being attacked, okay, from all lines of forces. So then if I'm an individual and I'm pro-black, I'm not looking to further anybody else's line, because the fact is people are not thinking longevity wise. When you have this kid, the kid's not black, the kid's mixed race. Then there's a statistic as well that I've quoted sometimes to these guys in our personal calls that I tried to find it so badly, but I think I got it from a Grapevine episode like years ago. But there was a statistics that mixed race children often marry and have relationships, have children with the other partner. So say you've married, I've had a kid with a white man. That kid is more likely to then procreate with a white person. That child is white. So people don't think longevity-wise, they don't think consciously about the decisions that they're making. I think the point of pro-black as well is that you need to be conscious at all times, because these things are happening in society and you need to be conscious of them and that they're happening. For example, the black population is declining in Western societies. Black people are declining, the mixed race population is increasing. It doesn't mean there's going to continue to be mixed race people, because as people get more mixed, what do they get? More white or more Asian. So yeah, it's just something to think about.
I guess maybe the black community to set up a policy that if you marry a white woman, your kids have to marry a black person.
You're so annoying.
No, but I feel like it doesn't. I feel like you also think of like being pro-black doesn't mean you're anti-white or you're anti-race. Like I just don't think that's true, and it's not. And also, it's not going to lead to people having black supremacy or whatever, because that, like, it just cannot be a thing ever in life.
The most extreme version of that word pro-black, I'm sorry, that is obviously it's not as strong as white supremacy, but it's a form of black supremacy.
No.
This version is like everything is black.
Do you understand?
I'm not fighting with that. Preserving blackness is not black supremacy. Hello.
Yeah.
They've literally, do you know how many countries have tried to racially, what's that word? Where they forced mixing, so they outbreed black people. Yeah, that thing.
Really? This is the first to hear about that.
What? You're being like literally in slavery there's so many different islands and countries in Africa as well where not forced, but it was basically kind of like, say for example in Jamaica, I was telling these guys about, I was reading about how in Jamaica during slavery, in the first 100 years only black men were sent to Jamaica, and therefore who did they have to procreate with? The indigenous women. Like, I'm not saying that was like an intention, but there's so many other things in history where they've been trying to basically like breed out ethnic minorities. Like that's happened loads. Like whatever the Kardashians are Armenian, that happened with Armenian genocide. Like these things happen in society. So these things have always happened. So then pro-blackness is about like we know this history, we know this has been happening, we know today that black people are declining, therefore I'm preserving my blackness in all it is. So I'm going to choose to make sure that I marry and have kids with a black person.
And that's not anti-white.
Yeah.
It's not. I was just gonna say no. It's definitely not anti-white. But don't you feel like you're limiting your own options? What if your true perfect match was a white guy?
It's not a perfect match, then, isn't it? One thing though, I do want to add is that I think people are often mad. Like what I've noticed is that the people that get very defensive are often the people who want to cling to being pro-black and are in interracial relationships. Like me, I don't have any dog in this fight. Like I personally don't care, but I just think that the term is the term. But also, even within that, people always focus on interracial dating because apparently people just want to do that so bad and want the okay from other people that you don't know to tell you that you can do that. But also, pro-black is also when I enter this relationship with a black person, who says they're pro-black? Who says, like, in all aspects of relationship, it's not just about what colour the person is dating, it's where do they align? If I'm with a black man, is he a colourist? Because then that can't run. Does he not support trans lives? That can't run. Like, there's more things that encapsulate this scope than who can I be pro-black and date whites? Can I be pro-black? The question is, can I be pro-black and my man is homophobic? No, like there's more things that are in this conversation, but people just want to focus on interracial dating because that's what people seem to want to do. There's bigger fish to fry.
Okay, and maybe I see it in the sense of, you know, I get with a white woman, I have mixed race kids, next generation down, the kids are basically white. Okay, I can see that passage. But I still don't see how, you know, me following the desires of my heart means I'm not pro-black. Because it's not like I'm going to stop going to protests and I'm going to stop signing petitions and I'm just going to spend all my money exclusively in white businesses and stuff like that.
Yeah. I've got something else, generational wealth. So another argument of why you can't be pro-black and date interracially is that a part of being pro-black and part of preserving this blackness is creating this generational wealth. Whereas if I'm now marrying an Asian person, by product of me marrying into that family, my resources are going to go to their family. Like I might support.
Depends on your will.
That depends on the what will.
Yeah, but
just by being alive,
still...
yeah. The child, like what if
anything? Your will, you can say, I want all my belongings to go to my black cousin so that it stays with black people.
No one's doing that. Oh my gosh, but like then what if you're supporting, like, just basically, you get it though, just by product of me being married, my money's going to be going to that family. Like that's another reason. Like this is why across all boards, it has an effect, and love is political. Like I don't know why people want to act like it's not. So
no, I agree, it is political, and
it's not this easy thing. Like people make it like just love whoever you want. It's not that easy.
No,
you could be in love with a colorist
because there's so many people that were like also looking for like abuse their lives or threatened things like that simply because they're dating a white woman or they're dating a white man. Like do you want to add anything to that, Jordan?
Well, yeah, I've personally been through that with like basically when early this year, obviously I've told you guys before, but I'll explain it again. When Darku released a song, what's the song called again? I completely forgot.
Is it Gangster?
I'm trying to love you like I don't.
No, not Gangster. See like brown skin like Eva. Sweet like in that one. Yeah. So when that one dropped, obviously everyone's going crazy, and so like there was like a kind of like a Triller challenge. So people were doing Trillers and then posting on
Triller over TikTok.
Oh, Triller.
Listen, Triller is like the grown-up version of TikTok. That's how I see it. I quite like to like. So obviously she's dropped that song. Everyone's going crazy. Everyone's doing these Trillers. So obviously at this time I was with my girlfriend, who's a white Cuban girl. And well, she's not white, but she's Cuban. So I don't know she looks white. Yeah. So her complexion's white, but she's from Cuba. So obviously we posted the video. It was a cute video. It wasn't anything mad. And it was like 30 seconds. So posted it, Darku seen it, reposted it, cool. That's all I knew. Obviously my friends were like, oh, that's a cool video, this and that. But 6 hours, no, I woke up to it in fact. So we posted late night, retweeted, whatever. 6 hours later, I've woken up, getting ready for work now. I see on my Twitter, boom, there's loads of notifications, it's all popping off. I'm thinking, what's going on? So I started to get attacked, essentially. Well, I seen as attacked anyway. I started to get like basically violated because my girl was white and I wasn't with a black girl, and like people were even saying, one of the tweets was, it's funny how he cut off the bit where it says brown skin like Eva, and in my head I'm thinking, that's not something I intentionally did. It was the way the video was edited. I would have.
That's jokes.
You see what I mean, though, innit? Now that
Twitter is crazy, it's jokes. But it's actually volatile. Stop it.
Yeah, that's the issue, because when we look past the whole it's Twitter, the way I was seeing it, I'll be honest with you guys, I've had issues with mental health years ago, and been in dark places and stuff. If I was still in those places and I'm seeing all of this Twitter stuff, I'm seeing people are getting at me because I'm not with a black girl, something mad could happen. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Luckily I'm in a mentally stable place, but there are some cases where people have been in very dark places, seeing the effect that social media's had, and they've either killed themselves, it's very deep stuff. So obviously, when I was going through that, I'm thinking, why are people eyeing me? They were sending me that Dr. Omar, whatever his name is, saying, he says in his video, black women you should only be with black men. Black men should only be with black women, which I can understand why someone could feel like that, and it's cool, but I don't need people sending me that and saying, yeah, you shouldn't be with your white girlfriend. Like, that's wrong. That, like, people were saying that, like, somebody actually said it's wrong for you to be with that white girl. And I was like, huh? Like, sorry, when did this even, why is that even a conversation? Sorry. Why is that even a conversation people are having on social media? Like, well, I can't date a white girl. Well, I can't date an Asian girl. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I never look at color like that. So
Really?
it was weird.
I
It was
never
weird
looked
for
at
me.
her either.
Oh, William, shut up. You just look at gal.
No. Me, I'm a humanitarian. I look at all women of all shapes and of all sizes. And but on a serious thing though, I think what that the Twitter event that you had there, what that kind of shows is what this mentality of, oh, because you date a white girl, you're not pro-black. Now I know you guys might disagree with this, but there is a bit of an implication of you're anti-black. People are gonna start asking now, like, oh, do you not like black girls? Because I remember I had a spell where it looked like I only dated, like I was only like moving to white girls, but it wasn't the case. It just looked that way. And I'm getting all these accusations of, oh, you don't like black girls. Oh, why do you have this? It's not, it's just, yo, that's my life. Like, can I not live my life?
I can feel you on that, because one of the tweets was saying, oh, would your mom be proud that you're even with a white girl? And then obviously I was going crazy. So that day I even had to retweet them and said, well, my mom is with a white guy. So she wouldn't care. And two, she'd be like, oh, okay, cool. It is what it is. So like, I think some people, like, have your feelings, have your thing, but don't try discourage another person just because they don't have the same mindset. Like, we can have the dialect. Like, I was happy if somebody wanted to DM me and say, oh, like, you're with a white girl, why you like that? I don't need people starting to take the piss and be like, what, can I say that? Sorry.
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry. Sorry, no, you know what I mean? So I didn't need people taking the piss out of my relationship because I'm with somebody. You know what I mean? Like, that's not social media we should uplift us. We should uplift.
Well, this also draws me to the thing of, like, not everyone is pro-black, and that's the term is enough where you shouldn't be forcing it upon people. Like what happens with Dave. Dave has never come out here and said, I am pro-black, therefore do not force that term onto him.
Exactly.
This term is not just this willy-nilly thing that you can fly around. Like it was supposed to be rooted in militant action, therefore it's not just this feeling that you can give and take wherever you think. Like everything like feminism, stuff like this, obviously you do the best of your ability, but still feminism is feminism. You can't take that away from it the same way pro-black is pro-black. Like, you can't just be changing the definition however you see fit. And also, because by product, I would never say like, oh, that person's a feminist, because maybe, yeah, they should be, but that's their prerogative. And therefore, I think that Twitter is the maddest place ever, because people are putting it on you like you've proclaimed that you're pro-black. Just because someone is born black does not mean they are pro-black. That is a decision. That is a conscious decision to want to put yourself in that place and put yourself out there in preserving blackness, and that's what it is. And yes, it does go into relationships, and more than just interracially. As I said, you don't be dating colorists, don't be dating transphobic people, don't be dating homophobic people. It encapsulates all of this, and just don't put it on. That's my main thing. Like, I feel like that's what happened on Twitter, because at the end of the day, who said you could have hated black people? Who told them that you liked black people? No one knows.
The Dave one, it's funny that you mentioned that one. I think that one was a very sticky situation in terms of, like, people didn't even know the full story. Like, people were just saying, oh, it has to be his girlfriend because he's posted pictures here and there. And then he came out, he kind of had to make a statement and be like, one, I never said I was pro-black.
Did he actually?
I think he did.
Girlfriend.
Yeah. Basically, he had to say that, and he had to be like, "Nah, it's just a good friend of mine. Like, I'm allowed to post." But I think
DM me, we can make this happen.
But you see, I think for Dave, when you're at a place where he is, you're gonna get people commenting, and obviously he's done like I think it was a Brits Award where he did the whole, the piano, all of that. He's been very vocal about how black people are being suppressed in this country and the politics that is in the country. So I think that's why people are especially saying, well, you're saying all of this about black people, but you're dating a white girl.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why when that happened, I felt really bad for him, because it's like, You know, he's never like, he's just a guy, innit? Like, you don't need to be going to him like, oh, you must be against black girls now. Oh, you're a hypocrite because of this and that. Nah, like, it's not even his girlfriend, so it's not even like one of them.
Yeah, I think as well, there's a difference between so this is the thing about me saying that pro-black is more than the average like thing. You can be conscious. I'd say like I'm for the advancement of black people, but not necessarily pro-black. Like I'm not there yet. I might not ever get there. But I'm conscious. I'm for
Let's be real.
I'm socially conscious. I'm for the advancement of black people like that. That is it.
And why should pro-black mean anything more than that?
Well, I think the biggest thing is just that so quickly could your line turn black. Like I could have, I'm mixed myself. Like my granddad was an Asian man. If I now have a kid with a white person, my kid's basically white at this point. That's one child. And like I was saying to these guys that one of my cousins, amazing, beautiful, she's been blessed with a little baby girl, but her dad was, I think, mixed. She's mixed. Her grandma was mixed. Her dad's mixed. She's mixed. That kid's white. Like within what is it, like 4 generations? So what would have been my grandma's great grandchild? My grandma's full black. My granddad is full black. That kid is white. Like, do you know what I mean? So I think these are the things that people often don't think about, which I get it, but it doesn't hit you until you see it, innit? And that's why pro-black became a concept. People weren't looking at the now. People weren't thinking, oh, just love who you want to love, because they were thinking about the future and what that means for black people. Yeah. I think do what you want. Like my little cousin's gonna be born and she's gonna be a beautiful little girl, but these are the repercussions of it, and that's just facts. Like I don't have a dog in this fight, but I do think that, you know, people fighting on Twitter are the people who just want to be told that they can date interracially. Do you in it? Like I don't understand why people are fighting for random.
Well, they're fighting because now they're being made to feel as if they don't respect their own culture.
But you don't have to be pro-black. But you don't have to be pro-black. You can be conscious. You can be for black people as much as you want.
Why you going to the extreme?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Pro-black's not. It's pro-black's not little this place.
Why does pro-black have to be such a, like, we should call it radical pro-blackness. And pro-black is just, you are pro-black.
No, but we've got being conscious. We've got being Afro-centric for stuff like that. Like there's other terms. People just.
If you want to say you're Afrocentric, William, you can say you're Afrocentric. If you want to say you're the other terms, you can say you're the other terms. But like this is just what the meaning of pro-black, I guess, means, and that's not.
And has meant.
Meanings change, baby. Meanings always change.
And hopefully it changes over time, and it will, by the grace of God, to suit whatever narrative that needs to be suited. However, pro-black meant what it meant, and that's just it. Period.
You can't change.
I think this is how we come to a good conclusion. In the black community, if you date a white person, your children have to date a black person. No negotiation. No. I think that's fair. If I date a white person, my kid.
No, I'm not telling my child who they can date.
No. I'm forcing on my children.
I can only decide these decisions for myself. This is what I mean. Stop putting things on other people. I can speak for myself. I can't speak for my mum. I can't speak for my sister. No, but people actually do stuff like that. Like the people on Twitter. Mind your own. You could hate black people for all you know. You don't know.
But I think one thing we just want to leave with. Again, nobody here is against people dating interracially. Everybody, like, you do what you want to do. What happened to you, Jordan, on Twitter was just a lot and sad.
It's all talkers. You don't need to worry about that. But we're just talking specifically about the term pro-black in this podcast. So yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, leave us a review. Rate us, and also
follow our Instagram.
Follow our Instagram, and also listen to the What You Saying podcast that Jordan is on. Follow them on Instagram as well. And and this was Chey's last
episode,
filming,
guys.
So it was.
You don't know when this will come out though. So.
Yeah, I don't know, but this was the last film. I don't know when it will come out, but this was the last one.